came across what may just be the absolute worst boxer in the world recently. We just had to talk about it. His name is His name is Ibrar Riyaz. He fights out of the UK. He's got a record of 0-13-0 since March of this year. In his career, he's 166-4, and that includes having won 3 of his first 8 career fights. He's been fighting since September of 2008, which is a long time, and it means that he averages about 16 fights a year, which is more than one a month. He's scheduled to fight again in early October, which is insane. His 14th fight, and that's from March to October. Rick, is this admirable that this guy seems to fight every 3 or 4 weeks, even though he loses all the time? Or is this just irresponsible of the organizers to keep on booking him?
You can make an argument for both. I'm going to choose to say he's a hero. Okay, this man is a hero. This man isn't quitting like Andrew Luck. This man continues to go out there. He's a punching bag with legs, and he continues to fight. Even when he gets knocked down, he gets back up. He never stops. This is a story for generations to come to be inspired. It doesn't matter how many times you lose, how many times you get knocked down. It matters how many times you get back up. He's got back up, 166 times? This will be 167th time. Like, this man is a national treasure for his country. I don't even remember where you said he was from.
Okay.
The UK. He is a UK treasure. He's a hero. He should be up on Mount Rushmore if they had a Mount Rushmore in the UK. I don't know what else to say about this guy other than I am absolutely amazed that he continues to fight and he's not, in a coma somewhere, because we know how dangerous the sport of boxing can be. And the fact that he's fought this many times, this many rounds, and has taken this many punches, he's a superhero. He's the biggest loser of superheroes, but he's a superhero. He's an inspiration. And I'm going to tell my grandkids and my great-grandkids and generations to come.
Taylor, what do you think? Because, the dude has fought 176 times, soon to be 177 in 11 years. That's...
Yeah. It's kind of like, you know how the Buffalo Bills losing all the Super Bowls was kind of still impressive because they still got to the Super Bowls? It's like, this guy never wins when he gets there, but it's still kind of impressive that he is there so often. So it's kind of like that. And that was definitely meant as a shot at the Buffalo Bills. So let's note that. But it is impressive. It is pretty good stamina, I guess. I don't know why his nickname is Smokin', but apparently that's his nickname. So it's cool. Interesting story.
They gave him the nickname because every time that when they found him for his first fight, it was like, oh, what was he doing? Oh, he was just smoking. It's like, all right.
He smokes between rounds.
Yeah, it is an interesting story. It's too bad that he's. I don't know. Maybe he'll win next time. There's always next time.
He's been saying that for 100 and something fights.
He'll be fighting for a title.
I think I looked. I think he actually held a title at one point.
Oh my God.
No, I'm not kidding. Like, in that early run, like he was like a fill-in or something. It's hard to tell because for the most part, all of these fights are basically in what amounts to like small civic centers that are attached to hotels. It's or a big, like a hotel ballroom that happens to have like ramped seating.
He gets paid in a free comps. That's
it's admirable that this guy's basically found a way to make boxing a day job, just doing it like every 3 or 4 weeks. But at a point, there's got to be some kind of health issue to come out of this. It's when you're getting the amazing thing is that for 166 losses, he hasn't been knocked out or TKO'd or even stoppage. Like, he's survived the 3, 5, 12 rounds, whatever they've had for those fights, because not all of them have been extended fights. A lot of them are shorter 3 to 5 round fights. But he's survived most of them. Like I think only like 3, 4, something like that of his. It's an insanely low number. Less than 5% of his losses have come by stoppage, which is baffling. for organizers to keep on booking him, though, like, it reminds me of, I don't know if you guys saw the movie because it's like 20 years old at this point, the movie Not Another Teen Movie, where they basically mocked all of the movies geared towards teens from the 90s. And there was a character who was like a lineman on the football team. And they, on the scoreboard, were counting down how many concussions he had left to suffer before it was basically like lethal. And during it was, yeah, I mean, obviously a different time when you're talking about concussions in a lighthearted way versus now. But every time that he'd get hit in the head with a football or knocked unconscious or kicked by a bull or something, the scoreboard would just tick down one. This guy has lost 166 boxing matches. And in the 10 boxing matches that he's won, it's not like he's gone out there and like the other guy just forfeited, or the 6 that he won and the 4 that were no contest. This dude has to have been hit in the head, what, on conservatively speaking, 5,000 times? 10,000 times? Is it too conservative to say that he gets 50 headshots per fight if it's 3 to 7 rounds? I mean, at some point, like, there's got to be a health hazard with this. I mean, if the dude's healthy, this guy is a superhero. He's Bruce Willis and Unbreakable. But if there is, like, I just hope they're doing their due diligence. I hope that they are, because it is such a small, thing, and it's kind of one of those things where it does remind me a bit of like Mickey Rourke in The Wrestler, and the reality behind that movie of seeing, professional wrestlers that, I mean, I've seen guys, man, I don't remember. I saw the Barber fight like 5 years ago at a middle school gym in Coral Springs, Florida.
It's like that episode of The Simpsons where Homer just stands there and takes all the punches and stuff until the other fighter tires himself out, so Homer wins by default. That's pretty much what this is, except without the winning.
This guy is Homer Simpson without the winning.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed that segment from the Odds On Favorites podcast. If you did, there's plenty more where that came from. Click on the link on your screen now to be taken to the complete podcast from this week, or check out the channel to find the other individual segments. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the Odds On Favorites YouTube channel for plenty more sports and sports betting picks, tips, and how-to guides.